And what's going on, y'all? All right. So this meeting is for the Jagwire episodes 1 and 2. I got the characters listed out. Xavier's on the road. He's making his way back home, so he won't be joining us. So this recording is going to go directly to him afterwards, and everybody else too. So today's itinerary, we're going to do a warm-up. No need to get up if you want to. That's cool. It's mostly going to be vocal and imaginative warm-up. Just, kind of fire in those superpowers that we have. Faith, belief, and then this one's going to be imagination. So the game that we're playing is called Beat Storytelling. Everyone has to participate. We're going to discuss episode 1, which I emailed to everybody. If you need me to send it again, let me know. I can probably just send it in screenshots if that's easier. We're going to discuss it. Then we're going to read episode 1. Everyone is in it except for Rafiki. Then we're going to discuss episode 2. Everyone is in episode 2. Then we're going to read through it. And then we're going to close. And that's pretty much it. So Xavier, who isn't here, is playing Justin, who is the protagonist. Waez, you're going to be the elder woman on the bus in episode 1. And then you're also going to play Peaches in episode 2. Rafiki is the Reverend, the old Reverend. And then Foots, I have you as the narrator. Foots, you're like everyone in every episode or every play is going to kind of have this like miscellaneous role just to kind of switch out who can be the narrator. So you're going to be the narrator for this play, and then someone's going to be the narrator for the next one. So narrator voice, also like the miscellaneous characters. There's the bus driver in episode 1. And then in episode 2, you play Jared, who's the coffee shop supervisor. He has a few lines. So yeah, that's that. Let's get into the warm up. So like, warming up vocally, like y'all can mute y'all mics if y'all want to, or y'all can, just let it all out. But basically just like this vocal warm up is to fire up. Yeah. Before we get into voice tings, we're gonna fire up just the jaw. So like I said, y'all can turn the video off if y'all feel uncomfortable. It look a little crazy, but like just act like you're chewing on the biggest wad of gum. Like there's like imagine you're a cow, and what this is gonna do as you continue to do it. You're just gonna like tell your jaw to wake up, tell the muscles. I feel like Foots, you probably have the like proper anatomy words to what's going on in here with the sports, you can say, all right. So we're just like activating.
I feel like you kind of making fun of me since I'm eating food.
Look, I wish I was eating food. See, so I'm imagining me eating this burger, and this just activates it. And that's cool. All right. And then we're just gonna start with the basics. So we get the movement first with the jaw, and then we get the breath first. And then last, we're gonna get the voice. So just, whatever breaths y'all choose, you got the in through the nose, out through the nose, in the nose, out the mouth, in the mouth, out the mouth, and then in the mouth, out the nose. Did I do that one? Check in with yourself real quick while you're there. Like, okay, what I'm about to bring to the table, on what percentage level can I take my voice to? So you got the movement first, then you got the breath, then we're gonna get into the vocal. So we can just do a basic A, E, I, O, U. So like I said, like you can do it on your own. So it's just gonna be like a I, O. You do it. I'm a warm up. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Drown it out. Yes, this is where the weirdo shit come in. Let's go. Now let's try a little staccato. So it's just gonna be like a Look, I appreciate it. Look, it take a little, it take a little, but I appreciate y'all being weird on camera. This is the point of what this is just a little taste of just how we warm up the voice. So the next warm up is going to be, and y'all can continue to do it. Like I said, keep your microphones on mute if you want to. So the next, I like worked out this morning, so I feel like working out always just like opens me up, and so I just be like ready to go. So this next warm up is going to be more like imaginative. You can close your eyes if you want to, keep them open. If whatever taps you into your imagination, I'm gonna just ask you to go there really quickly. And so just imagine yourself, how you imagine yourself when you close your eyes. And I want you to create 4 corners. One can be to the left in front of you, one can be to the right in front of you, one can be to the right behind you, and one can be to the left behind you. And place yourself on that stage that you just created. Now I'm gonna be talking in like rhetoricals. So this is just all imaginative, just to get that imaginative quote unquote muscle going. So what do you see in front of you? Is it a stage or is it an audience? Are there seats? Is it general standing? Imagine what that venue looks like. You're on the stage, you're somewhere on that stage that you just built. Imagine seeing like, stage. There you go. So imagine the tech box out there. You got people who's running the lights, people who's running the sound cues, the light cues. Are there lights in front of you? Are they above you? Do you have a spotlight on you? Create this venue that you're about to perform or rehearse in. Are there people there with you? Imagine who's behind the stage. You got crew hands, you got people helping you out. They can be your friends, your family, they can be completely strangers. They don't even have to be human. Now, I want y'all to imagine the people who are here right now, us 4, on that stage with you. Interact with them, look at them, how you envision them. So really quickly, this is how we're using our imagination. This is, and we all of us know here that these are our superpowers. So I don't really have to go too much in depth with what we're actually doing. But this is essentially us envisioning what we're about to speak right now. And this is what I asked for y'all to bring to the table. And you're already there, so I appreciate it. That's just a little imaginative warm up. If y'all got something that y'all wanna like warm up with for the next time, or even right now, we could do it. So just whatever kind of gets you into that creative mode. And that's just the idea of what these warm ups are gonna look like moving forward. All right, let's go. All right, so this is the game. Real quick, where we at? It might take 10 minutes or less. It's called beat storytelling. So if you noticed in the script, a lot of before the lines start, I put something in brackets called beat. So this is not too much of a teacher moment. It's like a little mini acting lesson thing. So, but I like to talk with y'all, you know what I'm saying? So like from just regular life, going out and experiencing life, what is a beat?
A vibration, percussion. Like a heartbeat. Something that's repeated, repetitive.
Repeated, yeah.
But it's like one sound. It's not. It's one. It's one. Yeah, it's one sound.
One sound, right? And then now, when you hear music, and then someone be like, "Oh, I like the beat." Are they saying this is more rhetorical? Like, are they saying they like the one sound, or they like the collective sound that is a beat?
Oh, that's true. They like.
Yeah. So that's just, you know, in where you can point to something in real life and be like, all right, that's what a beat. Taking it into context with theater and how I don't have to put, but how writers, playwrights could put beat for the actors to know that this is where something changes. With a beat, you hear like a, but every beat is pointing to something, and what it's pointing to is the continuation of the song. So when I say beat, and when you see beat inside of when you're reading a play, this is just to allow the actor and the reader to know that something is about to change in the delivery of that line. So this game is called beat storytelling, and I'm just gonna leave it at 3 basic beats that we can work with. One of them is gonna be tempo. So like say like I start to talk, and then for some reason I'll just speed it up real quick. That's a beat for tempo. Then a beat for pitch is if I talk something, but then something really exciting happened to me and I gotta get up it. That's a beat for pitch. And then a beat for point of reference is gonna be, for example, in real life, you talk to your kids different from how you talk to your grandma. You talk to your grandma different from how you talk to your partner. you talk to your partner different from how you talk to your coworker. So point of reference is literally who you're pointing your reference to when you're referring to someone while talking. So the game is called beat storytelling. I'm gonna ask someone here is gonna start to tell a story. It's gonna be kind of like a stream of consciousness. But I want you to keep an ear out for me, and I'm gonna interrupt you, and I'm gonna say beat point of reference, for example, and I want you to change that point of reference to a different person or a different thing or a different. Does that make sense? And then I'll say beat tempo. So I would want you to pick up your tempo. It don't got to be picked up. Actually, you can slow down a little bit too. And then I'll say beat pitch, and that can go. I always like, imagine going higher up or more dramatic, but it could also get quieter. It could also get subtler. So who's up for it? Who down?
I'm down.
Let's go. All right, tell a story. Go ahead, tell us a story.
Okay. Well, yesterday I went to a football game for my brother. It was his senior night. And was that yesterday? Was that even yesterday? I think actually that was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday night. And hold on 1 second. Now my little daughter is coming in to bother me.
Wait a second. Pitch point of reference, though. Wait, pitch point of reference. Because do y'all notice how the story changed? But that's a beat. We do it all the time. But putting it in the play is just to remind you that that's what you're doing. So, and you did it. Look. So that was it. All right. Who's next?
All right, I got one.
All right, go ahead. Tell us a story, Foots. Was that Foots?
Yep.
All right.
So I was going to get some food earlier today, and my girlfriend was like, hold on, let me think real quick.
Don't think. It's a stream of consciousness.
Okay, so she was like, "Oh yeah, that's probably why your bitch ass brother always losing his hair. You're always eating at GMO McDonald's." And I was like,
beat.
Hey,
tempo.
Okay, wait.
Speed it up. Okay. Speed it up. Beat tempo. Speed it up. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, I was gonna slow it down.
Okay, well, let's go. Look, I wanted to challenge you because it was going a little slow. So I wanted to challenge you with the tempo.
Okay.
Do what you want, though. Do what you want. Yeah,
I was like, hey, don't call my brother a bitch. He'll really beat you up. And she was like, oh my God, I was just kidding. All right.
I appreciate it. Look. I appreciate it. I heard it. I appreciate you. And look, this is like director mode. Look, I'm never coming for nobody. I don't want y'all to think it's just for the sake of the game. You know what I'm saying? So like when I said like peek it up, that was it. I was like, speed it up. Just for the sake of the game. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, no
all right, last but not least.
I got y'all. Check it. This shit really happened yesterday. I'm an Uber driver. So I was Saturday night here in Kansas City. Everybody's always drinking. So I go to pick up a drunk man. He gets in the car.
Beat. Point of reference. Point of reference.
So the man literally changed from his whole perspective of being this drunken man to a whole complete conscious being. And by the time he got out the car, he was like, if we don't get it this time around, I'll see you next life.
Okay. All right. Wait, I got to ask you. Because I did notice the difference, but what was you pointing to internally?
So I had went from like a shadow place in my mind into like a more like a light place, but at the same time, I just sped up the story.
Okay.
I skipped a whole bunch of details and skipped right to the end of the story.
All right. Look, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Good job. I want to keep things rolling. We getting close to 2:30 on my side. So we're going to keep things rolling. So like, just keep that in your mind. Like I said, in the script, there's a lot of little beats. I think everyone has that. Even you Foots, like the miscellaneous characters kind of have beats, and we'll get to it when we read it. But basically, I'll say, for example, someone will talk. They'll say something, then a beat is just a change of tempo or a change of point of reference. And I'll even put, Peaches is talking to Jay. I'll put it in parentheses, but she's saying this to Jay. So just kind of switch or pivot. You know what I'm saying? You just pivot your your point of reference or your pitch or your tempo. So let's discuss episode 1. Y'all can pull it up. No need for videos or whatever. I got it right here on my laptop, so I'm gonna just read it right off of here. So we're here, baby. I don't know, my face is all, this is what I know, creating new blood cells, my heart pumping, but I'm just so glad that we're here. So this is Lost Dogs Chase Tales, book 2, The Jagwire, episode 1, Justin, urban legend. And it's kind of like a play on words, like it's just an urban legend. This is book 2. Book 1 is The Separatist, and The Separatist is more of just like a collection of poems that, just kind of explain what the overall point of Lost Dog Chase Tales is. It's just kind of pointing to your spirit, your space in where you are right now, but then doing it the best way you can through mythologizing, through telling your story. So I'll just synopsize it real quick. What's going on is just really just setting the world. In my mind, I imagine it as Baltimore City, but y'all can imagine it as whatever city that y'all in. It ain't the best place, but people still, got to be people. There's still a sense of community, but there's also a sense of like, man, we deserve more than this. What's going on, and take that how you will. So what's going on right now is just, this is, I want to say like a Wednesday morning, and it's torrential downpour, but it's not enough to keep people inside. People still got to go to work. So what's going on is Justin, the protagonist, played by Xavier, who's not here. I'll read for him today. He's hopping up on a bus and he's going to work. But what happens between him hopping on the bus and going to work is this mystical, like out of this world, kind of like, what the fuck just happened to me? And that's what episode 1 is. And so without further ado, we'll read it. So again, I'll put narrator for you, Foots, but wherever you just see that there's no one talking specifically, that's where you're going to talk.
Okay.
Tonight, I'll put narrator so you can know that it's narrator. And then you're also going to be the bus driver. Waez is the old woman. I'm going to be Justin. And then Rafiki, you can sit this one out. So let's get into it. Wait. Y'all ready?
Hey. All right. Heavy rainfall. Speeding cars splash rainwater onto the curb of the bus stop. The number 120 express bus pulls up. Quickly, the damp bus riders pack into the bus. Justin, the last person on, squeezes his way towards the back of the bus. Hey, that's the last time I'm going to let you on this bus without paying, Justin.
I got you next time, Jarvis, on Mothers.
Yeah, whatever. Just throws his headphones over his ears and stares out the window, watching the rain cover the cityscape. He can still see the street signs telling him which stop to get off on.
To himself. So right here, Justin is just, I'm gonna just read through. I'm gonna just be in it and we'll talk after. My bad, y'all. Sinclair, Moravia, Bowleys, Parkside, Arborview, Dudley, Coleman, Erdman. Why do all of these sound like old warlords? Just imagine a bunch of dudes just huddling together, looking at a map of the town and playing a game like, I don't know, craps? Yeah, craps. Just rolling dice to see whose family name goes on which street. And the game announcer dude is like, oh yes, Preston. Yes, Sir Preston Dudley of Greenshire. It is now your role for the naming of District 6. You may roll 1 pair. I, Sir Preston Dudley Greenshire, heir to the noble Greenshire throne, built by a prosperous maiden's hand, shall land upon the highest percentage in hopes of securing my family's legacy in the free world. Then that motherfucker rolls a dog throw. Sorry, sir. Sadly, your family name will forever be synonymous for the street with the torn down Save-A-Lot. Right next to the demoralized railroad tunnel, overlapping a garden of trash with that dirty old stuffed Jagwire.
An elderly woman sitting next to Justin noticed him laughing to himself.
I'm watching a funny video on the internet, man.
That dirty old stuffed Jagwire, huh?
Yeah.
Right under the tunnel on Preston. Sits under the right side, huh?
I guess.
I guess you must take the bus from the countryside if you don't know anything about this Jagwire. Beyond it just being a dirty, stuffed animal, huh?
Oh, I didn't think that would offend you, ma'am.
What's with all this ma'am business? Do I look like your grandma?
Well, I don't know how old you are, to be completely honest.
I'm as old as the legend of the Jaguar.
Suddenly, the interior lights of the bus transform from a dull and gray hue to a bright gold luminescence. The passengers disappear, and all who is left on the bus is the woman and Justin.
Legend of the Jaguar ain't no fable. Wild horses can't be contained in no stables. Got us going to war like Cain and Abel, disabled like watching TV with no cable. See, a group of individuals chose their side long ago, when the natives built their homes off of wood and stone. When rulerships wasn't the reigning principle to us, those days are old, like trading with gold. The kings took the north, their heirs took the south, the queens took the east, and they went all about, putting their symbols here and there, sigils everywhere.
But what about the West?
I was getting there. The
Yeah,
West
yeah,
was
yeah.
a little tougher. The West was a little tougher than they were prepared for. Those already living on the land were bred for war. Coveting an ecosystem that went beyond the physical, the West was pivotal, but their weapons were trivial. They went back to the drawing room in hopes of a miracle. Wait, is this me? Still, yeah.
Yes.
They went back in the drawing room in hopes of a miracle, summoned a spirit or two utilizing a ritual, political, empirical, illusions, unequivocal. It was a game of wits using bones and pentacles.
The bus screeches to a haunting stop.
I don't think you're talking about some dirty stuff Jagwire, are you?
Isn't this your stop? You're going to be late for work.
Oh, shit.
Justin places his head inside of his coat, covering up from the pending rain. He runs off the bus.
Now that Jaguar story is for you to tell all on your own, kid.
Oh, yo, all right. Look, hold up. Yo, oh man, I got chills on the side of my face. I appreciate y'all for even like speaking those words. It's the first time hearing it. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with my internet over here, but I was just trying to like edit as, you know, obviously got some typos and whatnot. But yeah, whoever wants to start, just like with any feedback from, you know, like what we just read. Yeah, let me know.
So just from like, you know, an objective point of view, of course, I know that this is it's not your first time, but this is everyone else's first time looking at the lines. I know this is probably our first time working with each other, new environment, etc. I just encourage y'all to make it kind of simple for yourself. Like, for example, the first time that Waez came in, he said an elderly lady. Now, I'm not trying to say that her elderly lady wasn't, you know what I'm saying, in shape. You know, she probably wasn't 56 years old, you know what I'm saying? But as just from an aesthetic point of view, I would want her to switch up her voice a little more.
For sure. Yeah.
And also from Rams, I just want you to be a bit more dramatic. Like okay. Eeyore is hella dramatic, but I want you to be more like I don't really care who you be, like just be a bit more dramatic within yourself when it comes to like storytelling. And I think that's gonna help with you just overall being more comfortable speaking different.
Yeah, I actually got this download. It wasn't a download, it was something I just heard off Instagram or somewhere, a little snippet. and the dude was talking about how it's better to like when you're younger or whatever, like when you're a little kid, it's better to be over dramatic or over destructive, you know, like kind of miss the like the swing or whatever, like miss it by overdoing it, so you could dial it back as you know, you can learn to dial it back. It's easier to learn to dial it back than it is to ramp it up.
Definitely.
So yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's literally what I've heard. Just go out, and that is it. That is it. But like Rafiki said, this is our first time doing it. You know, obviously we're just getting comfortable. And I also, and I appreciate that, Rafiki, and I encourage, you know, us to give each other little tips in here and there. So I appreciate that. And I encourage everyone to do that too, just because we're all here and we know, you know, because we all watch TV, we all know what movies sound like. So yeah. I like that we can all, you know, give each other feedback. I'm gonna give that feedback too. And like I said, I got this my little director's hat. So it's never personal. It's just for the sake of the story. Anybody else, like from the people who was reading? Anything you noticed, or you know, sure. Anything you noticed, anything that jumped out to you, or anything that's missing, you know, just kind of what you were feeling when you were,
The poetry right there, that was dope. The little pockets and all that, the way it tied together. I really fuck with that. Because that's the stuff that I love to do right there. Like the way she was reading and stuff like that, it was really good.
Yo, wait, I even wrote that down. I said Waez is with the shits with the spoken word. Like you knew what the assignment was. Like you didn't stumble on that part. It flowed so smooth. I would have to ask, you know, and I also encourage this too. If there's anything, you know, this goes for everybody. If there's any kind of lines that doesn't make sense when we speak it out, let me know. Like if it's anything that you're stumbling over, because one part it could just be how we approach the line, but imagine us just saying it in our day-to-day. Does that make sense? And I usually write like that. I kind of usually write like a little like, what? I don't know where it comes from, but I don't know. So just let me know if there's anything in there that kind of like trips you up and like, I would much rather say this.
Yeah,
I will edit it. Yeah.
I do want to add one more thing. Good job. Good job, everyone.
Yo, we
Definitely.
did that. Yo, I got chills on the side of my face. Anything Waez like?
There's just one part, I'm not sure how the like flow is supposed to be when it's like they went back to the drawing room in hopes of a miracle, summoned the spirit for two utilizing a ritual, political, empirical, illusions, unequivocal. I don't know if I'm saying that like right, like with the commas, because then equivocal has the I'm dumb. I don't even know.
Yeah. This is where, look, you can see my hand. This is where you can see my hand where I'm trying to do a little too much, but I really couldn't find anything to rhyme with ritual. So I guess the writing technique that I was doing was just those two lines. So they went back to the drawing room. So they went, you know, into their churches or they huts or whatever in hopes of a miracle. They did their little ritual. And this kind of the political, empirical, illusions, unequivocal kind of breaks the story, and it kind of is like a third person or a, you know, breaking the fourth wall. So it's, you kind of step out of, you're telling the story, but then you kind of step out of it by having political, empirical, illusions, unequivocal, and then the colon is going back to the story to say it was a game of wits using bones and a pinnacle. And now that I'm even saying it out loud, those three can just maybe even describe what the ritual was. The ritual was political. You know what I'm saying? So it was their witchcraft. It was empirical. It was in order to take over, you know, or is that empirical? I feel like empirical is like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like thinking of empire. Like, but empirical is like also empirical evidence in science where it's like there's nothing that can refute it. Is that what empirical is? I was just going off of what rhymes.
I like it. I just wanted to make sure I was flowing it right. Like,
it was cool. Yeah. And I hope that direction just kind of helps, like, because those, it gets tricky. Illusions, unequivocal. They was doing some weird shit. They was doing some bada bada bada. And what they made from all of that was a game, which is really, and I'm gonna just jump into my notes right now. So what you're describing, Waez, like the Jagwire, y'all notice that I spelled it a little different. And so I just in my creative space, and you know, looking at the street names, they all named after somebody. We know who they named after. But what I kind of went back and said was like, how did they make this? And they just played dice. They literally, and that's, you know, I'm going back and I was reading, you know, Justin's little monologue at the beginning. Maybe I can go in and tweak it a little bit because I do a lot of like talking to myself, but I kind of want to make it like, so the audience knows that I'm talking to myself. So, but basically what Justin is describing, so first he's reading all the signs, he's like, man, these sound like old warlord names. Like, just imagine what they was doing just to get their names put on the streets, you know, like old Sinclair, old Preston, Sir Dudley Preston of Greenshire. I was just making shit up. And like, it was just a bunch of dudes rolling dice. Whoever gets the highest one, all right, you get District 6. All right, you get District 9. And so this ties into the whole story of what the Jagwire is. So the Jagwire, as Jagwire, is a wire, a jagged wire that they took from a fence or whatever. They tied it, made it into a circle. I'm gonna get some illustrations too. If anyone draw, let me know. So they get like a barbed wire in a circle, and they make it kind of like a game, and they just roll dice, and that's how they determine who owns which and who gets to do what with that district too. So it's gonna get into that later. And then it's the Jagwire where you see the stuffed Jagwire on the side, and you're like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so it's just a setup. This is one. This is the introduction. This is the separation. So yeah,
I really like the visual presence in your writing. Like, it was very easy for me to actually see seen in my mind's eye versus, you know, like somebody just writing something, just putting things together. I can tell you really took your time.
I appreciate that, because one thing, and this is just in life, is accessibility. If shit don't make sense, and if it's hard to get there, then what's the point? Why I gotta brain blast Jimmy Neutron every time I gotta think about something? No, it should be simple. So I appreciate that, and that makes me. I'm gonna keep going on that one. I'm gonna keep going. So that's episode 1. We got about 15 minutes. Episode 2 a little longer. If y'all got maybe 10 minutes after 3 o'clock. If not, feel free to leave at 3. Y'all free to go, but we're gonna hop right into episode 2. So let me load that up myself. And so I'll make this quick, a little synopsis. So Lost Our Shea Sales Book 2, the Jagwire episode 2, do no work, do not eat. So it's kind of like a play off of that scripture. I don't know how it actually goes, but it's like man who does not eat does not work. It gets, because it's kind of like a play, because this is the scene that introduces the Reverend. So now Justin's going into work, and he works at the Beanie Brew, little local mom and pop coffee shop. He works with his coworker Peaches, who is a aspiring esthetician. We're gonna get into that, you know, this. And what's really happening here is like how Rafiki said, I want to be able to kind of use words in order to paint the relationships that the characters have before the story starts. So it's a lot of little back and forth, a lot of little banter going on, but the banter is for the audience to know that Peaches and Justin got a little something going on. It's not like, oh, they're spread out right there. They slick with each other. They're a little smooth with each other, and they like to play on words. So that's how they flirt. That's how they get their thing on. So it's a lot of that builds up. What ends up happening is that in this episode, we learn that Justin is a spoken word poet, and that, you know, he just does poetry here and there. Peaches is an esthetician, but, you know, they got to work just to make ends meet. So that's why they work at the coffee shop. What ends up happening is that, let me see this, so I won't be like repeating things. Okay, yeah. So what ends up happening is that someone orders just a big catering order, and it's the Reverend. The Reverend comes and picks it up. Justin and the Reverend kind of have this back and forth where the Reverend is just very dogmatic, but Justin is also dogmatic in his individuality, where the Reverend is dogmatic to Jesus and God and Christianity, but Justin is kind of more so individualistic, but he has that same kind of dogmatism, you know, because he just kind of senses that people is just a little sketchy. So that's just the back and forth that's going on between Justin. Like I said, I'll play Justin. Foots, you're gonna play Jared, who is just like, you know, he's the supervisor, but he doesn't really work. They kind of have this little joke of like, yeah, Jared's never gonna fix the coffee shop website so that we can do the orders. And he's like, you know what, just for y'all saying that, I'm gonna take the day off and I'm gonna go fix the website. You know, because he just kind of finds a way to get out of work and stuff, but he's still the supervisor. If you notice in the script, there's a lot of like sarcasm, especially with Peaches. So Waez, I would just ask you to hop into that, like, you know, a little flirtatious bag, but you know, you're witty. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the gift of gab, and you use sarcasm and irony, and you just, you know, kind of use your little shoulder a little bit. You know, you the shit, and you are. Like that. But you speak it too. You can communicate it. Very, very, very air quality. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I like this character. I like this character.
Yeah, and then the Reverend. You know, you got a trick up your sleeve. But you think you're not showing your hand, but you are. Justin sees through it. Even Peaches has this moment of like, oh, I'm sorry, Reverend. Oh, Reverend. Because the title alone is like Revere, Reverend. But Justin kind of sees through that, and you can tell. I'm saying you as the character, you can tell that Justin might be a little. You can trick everyone in the neighborhood, and that's what you're actually doing, Reverend. You're kind of monopolizing everybody for a purpose. But Justin is like, I don't know about the Reverend. So let's get into episode 2. All right, Lost Dogs Chase Tails, book 2, The Jagwire. Episode 2, Do No Work, Do Not Eat. Oh, and Foots, you're the narrator for this one too. You're gonna be the narrator for the whole. Well, I'm gonna just do one more episode for this one, but you're the narrator too. Is Foots there? Hello? Anybody knows?
That's my bad. That's my bad. I was muted.
Oh no, you. Oh, you cool.
I read the title. I read the line.
Oh wow!
I'm sitting here editing. I'm like, let me make sure he know. This is there.
Okay. I was like, oh, that's cool. He can edit it in real time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. All right, here we go. Justin runs into the vestibule of the Beanie Brew. He dries his feet and enters the shockingly empty coffee shop.
What in the hell? On a Thursday morning?
Thank God for this rain, right? Now you can imagine if we had to deliver orders in this storm.
Right? Jared's never going to fix that website.
Jared, their supervisor, enters from the back room. I heard that, and just for you saying that, I'm going to take the rest of the day off to fix it. Peaches, make sure to take out all the trash when you leave tonight. We don't need another overnight raccoon infestation here.
It's called a raccoon rager, Jared. I'll leave the radio on and give them little glow sticks and raccoon condoms for protection.
Whatever. And Justin, try not to burn anything today. See y'all later. Try and stay busy, please.
Christ, I burned one banana and I'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, you nut muffin.
Leave me alone. Oh, let me go clock in right quick.
Justin goes into the back room and clocks in his employee ID. He notices a written note on the employee news board. Please prepare 50 banana nut muffins, 20 coffee carriers, assorted sweeteners and utensils, and napkins for Saturday service. Reverend J. Justin takes his coat off, throws it on the break room chair, and goes back into the shop with the written note.
Hey, did Jared mention anything about a catering order before he left?
Oh, yeah. I got it all packed up. No worries. Guy's coming in to pick it up any minute.
Oh, okay. Hey, so how did your exam go this weekend?
I passed.
Oh, shit. Congrats.
Yes, you're looking at Baltimore's flyest, hottest, new esthetician.
Oh, that's what's up. So tell me, can you look at this extremely contagious rash on my left?
Ew, stop. No. Esthetician means face care, stupid. Hey, did you perform your poem this weekend at the open mic? I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I was cramming.
It's all good. And I had to babysit again. I might just record it and throw it up online or something.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I know you were really looking forward to that. Oh, I know. Record it right now on the stage. Here, give me your phone. Go on stage, do the spoken word thing you do, and I'll record and snap my fingers and say,
My bad. I don't know. I'm not really in the mood.
Oh, come on. You gotta stay ready. Wait, hold on. Oh,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Remember?
Fine. But you gotta get different angles.
I got you. I got you.
The two walk towards the theater in the back of the cafe. Peaches turns on the stage lights and Justin stands center stage. Peaches starts recording.
All right, and go.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I'm a little nervous. All right. Where do I start? Oh yeah, okay. I start with the intro from Lighters Up. Yep. That's what inspired the poem, by the way. Okay, so it starts like this. Someone murdered, nobody seen, nobody heard it.
Peaches turns around and becomes aware of who she's talking to.
Oh wait, hold up.
Oh wait.
Yeah. Come back.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Mhm.
With those words, the front doors to the coffee shop swing open. A man in a black full-length raincoat enters the vestibule. He shakes off his black umbrella and wipes his black dress shoes.
Just another funeral service.
Hey, excuse me, are you guys open?
Can't you see we're kind of in the middle of something?
He just turns around and becomes aware of who she's talking to.
Oh, Reverend J. I'm sorry, sir. How are you?
Whew, yeah, I'm doing well, young lady. Just here to pick up that order I placed this morning.
Oh, right. I'll get that right away. Reverend J, why don't you serve the Reverend something to drink while he waits?
My J?
A narrator. So I just put it there, like I didn't put it before. So
Okay. Peaches goes to the back room to retrieve the order. Jay steps down from the stage and goes behind the counter.
So what will you be having, sir?
Oh, you can call me Reverend.
Okay.
I'll be having a large coffee, black.
Coming right up. So you're a reverend. Where's your church?
Oh, I don't preach in the church, boy. The presence of God is everywhere, so I decided to preach inside of my home right here on McCullough.
I see. I live on McCullough too. Been there my entire life. I never seen you around.
Well, I travel a lot for work. So you familiar with the neighborhood?
You could say that.
I grew up around here myself. I know how hard it is to grow up as a smart young man in an environment that wants to kill you.
Yeah. You just got to learn to get in where you fit in. Do no harm and no harm will be done to you.
Wise words, son. Well, God allows everybody to fit in with him. Those who will obey his word, that is. Though some of us have to learn that the hard way.
Coffee's ready. That'll be $3.20.
Peaches appears from the back room with the catering order.
Oh no, Justin, Reverend J doesn't have to pay. Oh wait, let me say that again. Oh no, Justin, Reverend J doesn't have to pay. It's on the house. Here's the order.
Thank you, young lady. God bless you both.
No problem. Come on, I'll finish setting up the record. I'll finish up to. No problem. Come on, I'll finish setting up to record your poem.
I'll be right there.
It'd be a shame if we lost another young life. The crime rate in this city is simply out of control. We have to look out for one another if we want to survive.
I don't do too well in packs, sir.
Reverend, you be careful now, son.
The Reverend exits the coffee shop with the catering order. Justin stares at Reverend J, braces the rain. Justin stares as Reverend J braces the rain. He runs back to the stage to recite his poem. Just as the first words come out of his mouth, a gunshot lets off outside.
Yo! All right. See, I can already hear just where things, Waez, just by you. Like I said, like when people start to, it allows me as the writer to be like, all right, let me make it more smooth, just because it might sound a little weird. But y'all,
that was dope, yo.
Taurus Moon, look, I can't help Taurus Moon. I'll be like, especially Rafiki, sir. Like we was chopping it up before everyone got in here, and he was just saying, you know, like a point of reference for him was just, you know, a family member is a reverend. So it's like, for everybody that could work out too. If you know somebody like a Peaches, you know somebody like a Jared, tap into that. And just because I knew that Rafiki, I could hear you tapping into something else, and you knew exactly what the assignment was. So I appreciate that you brought that, you know, every time you said God, it sounded like I got annoyed. I was like, oh, there you go with that God shit. Like I just got annoyed, but I was like, dang, yo. So I appreciate, and like let's just say, when you bring so much to the table, all I have to do as the director is just how can we draw it back. But just as far as your delivery, I don't have no notes right now. When you're going into your recording session, keep that. You know what I'm saying? Keep even a little more if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You know when enough is enough. So I appreciate that, because I'm not going to say that's how I imagine a reverend, but you brought something new. So thank you. Praise.
It was weird because like I think we're maybe doing something different. Because like I kind of read down a little ahead. I was like, this dude's in the house. It's not the church. So I was like, I can change up a little bit.
It's a play on that, you know, because Flights be talking about these 21st century demons and these Protestants where they, you know, they going against the church. And, you know, I kind of just played on that where it's like, yeah, no, I don't preach in church. So it's like, what did you do? You got your own denomination, you preach out how was you doing? Like, so it's, yeah, a little play on that.
I'm gonna tap into it, yeah.
I appreciate that. My bad. Just because like it's going on 3. I'm gonna just say this real quick. I appreciate Peaches. Like I just wrote kind of like a little sign line where you kind of go up and down with tone. I don't know where you did that exactly. Maybe in the sarcastic lines, but just keep that. You know, like play with your tone. You know, like as the woman, you know, like your voice is just already sitting higher. So the more you come up and down, it's like when a woman like, you know, stresses certain things, it's like, what you really trying to get at? What you really trying to get at? You did that, and I just wrote it down. So whatever, you know, if you could tap back into that when you're recording, it was brilliant. I'm gonna go back in and fix some little tweaks, because it's a lot of it is like the words where I just noticed that's like someone would get caught up. It's just in the little details, and so I'll make sure that flows for everyone, and the narrator too. The narrator, great. I went in and I put in all the lines. Whatever voice, you know, like tone that you want to just naturally sit at, as far as when you go in your bag and you record on your own, whatever is kind of like a storyteller, like how you would imagine someone telling you a story, or how you would imagine telling a kid a story. Doesn't necessarily have to be like Jared, their supervisor, and like no, but just whatever kind of, even though they're stale lines, you know, they're not necessarily characterized, have distinct characteristics. What I would ask is just to keep the audience interested in every line. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just for the recording process. And then for Jared, like, whatever, I don't know if you've had an annoying supervisor, or just, you know, maybe a snotty nose. I don't know if anyone watches Bob's Burgers, but I think the character that I was imagining was, oh fuck, now I'm forgetting the name. I had it when I was, but he's the health inspector. He's just an annoying little health inspector that gets on everyone's nerves. And he has like a really like bratty voice, and he's like, Bob, this place is dirty. You don't necessarily have to do that, but you know, whatever kind of gets, whatever you imagine as an annoying person, tap into that.
All right.
And that's and like it's 3:00 right now. Respecting and honoring everybody's time. You're free to hop out if you want to. Stay as long as you want. I think I'm gonna stay on for maybe about 15 more minutes. So
peace,
the floor
y'all.
belongs to everyone.
Peace, y'all. I'm going out of town. So I gotta get going, get ready, gotta clean up the house and stuff. So yeah, I have a good one. It was a pleasure. I'm gonna continue to tap into the Reverend energy. So I gotta continue to read the lines, but y'all have a good one.
Appreciation, safe travels. Thank you, Rafiki.
Safe travels, yeah.
Peace out.
Peace.
Be safe.
And then there were 3. Any like closings?
Man, I hope they didn't shoot. Actually, the Reverend, he was kind of snobby, so I don't mind if they smoked them. Just I hope the the coffee and the muffins is all right.
So get the. I mean, I don't know. Like I'll be playing in my like. I don't want no one to know what's about to. But I mean, we all about to read the story. We won't necessarily get to the part. Oh, actually, no, we will. So the next scene is going to be the funeral. So I ended the scene with the gunshot. So what's going on is that the Reverend is playing the Jagwire game. They're right. The where the story is, they're in the middle of a shift. And there's new people playing the Jagwire game. There's going to be new people taking over the district, and the Reverend is playing the game. He's trying to take over the district that they're in. He's trying to get names, street names at Reverend J Johnson. That's about to be the new. And this is just from my personal experience, how I see like remixed signs. And I'm like, dang, the Reverend. So what's going on is that the Reverend is in the game now, but it's getting sinister. It's more sinister now, where he is setting up. He's a part of the crime scene that's in the neighborhood. So he actually set someone up to get killed because he's playing in the game. He's playing the Jagwire game, but now it involves gangs. Not to get too morbid on y'all, but so that gunshot is a someone dies in the neighborhood. The next scene is the funeral, and we'll do that next week. And basically, what happens is that why you think he was ordering that catering order? He about to set up a little service. It's something that's already predetermined. So someone dies on Wednesday, and the funeral's on Saturday. So it's like, and then Justin's like, wait a second. Justin gonna be at the funeral. He gonna pick up a muffin and be like, we packed this muffin. It's gonna be something like that. It's gonna be like, oh shit, what's going on? So, but we only gonna get the first 3 episodes. But yeah, no, that's shit. And later, the Reverend's gonna get his. The Reverend's gonna get his, but it's gonna be a Uriel moment. He gonna know what to detach from. He gonna know when too deep is too deep. But I'd be interested, like even if like sitting back and talking like this, because I think when I write, it's 13 episodes, but I kind of have very loose understandings of what's happening. If y'all got some details, like a turn could happen here or a beat, let me know, because I'm open. Like it's a collab now. But yeah, the Reverend gonna get that. He gonna get his. He gonna get his. And I'm gonna have you play foots. I'm gonna have you play more random people. Like maybe in the next episode there'll be some family members. Just and honestly, like when I was sitting back and thinking of casting, just everyone's gonna have a miscellaneous maybe in the next one. So if you can just this for you, like if you could just play with voices, play with your tone, play with your pitch. How can you be different people? So that would just be the challenge for you playing miscellaneous. Don't think, don't think like, oh, I'm just, like okay,
right, cool, just the Swiss Army knife,
Yes, sir.
When I first read from Peaches, I had an accent, and then I was like, wait, we're not in the South. I can't do that.
That's so funny because
where we are actually.
That's so funny.
Peaches was just really like Peaches.
Yo, like this synchronicity, this spirit. What Jay-Z say? This spiritual shit really works. So Peaches is actually a person in my real life. When I worked at Starbucks downtown, there was somebody. She dark skin, the biggest cheeks, face cheek, but she had bald head, but blonde, beautiful woman, drop that gorgeous. I go in for my interview. I just walk up to her and I say, Peaches. And she looks at me and says, yes, that's not her name. I don't even know what her actual name is. We ended up being like this when I worked at Starbucks. And she's from Georgia. So when you said like, bring some South, because she would do that. She lived in Baltimore for all of her life. What is her name? Shout out to Peaches. I don't even know. She was like, why did you? And we end up, no, like this is like on George. She was like, why'd you call? I was like, I don't know. You just remind me. You look, her face looked like a peach. I was like, oh no, you look like a peach. Oh, juicy. I was like, oh, I just called you Peaches. And so so if you want to tap into a little country, by all means, please do it. All I would say is just commit to it. Because that goes for anyone trying to do an accent. Like, don't you know when people start to do an accent, but then they kind of mix it up and it sounds Scottish, and it's like, hey, just commit to it. Like, make sure you, yeah.
I was thinking like that dynamic between Peaches and Justin. It kind of seemed like almost like Peaches was kind of like a motherly, like cheering them on, saying kind of like big sis kind of thing. It was cool.
She plays multiple roles. That can go into. I like that. And I like that you said that because that can even go into the roles that women play. It's like not just being able to be the cute little one. You also got to be the mom because someone in the household couldn't be the mom, that type of thing. But yeah, this is like a new kind of building a new archetype for women. I'm every woman. Like I don't want to speak too much on a woman experience, but like I'm every woman. Like yeah. So yeah, they kind of flirt with each other a little bit, and then she kind of cheers them on, like, hey, come on, hey, you got this. I believe in you, and they kind of hype each other up.
Right. Yeah, that's
in a
fine.
sense too. Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And we're not there yet, but I feel like once Justin starts pulling the Reverend's card, because how Peaches was so like, oh, Reverend, like, she'll go more towards Justin, like, oh, he's actually the person that you need to revere in that type of way rather than Reverend. But that'll probably be like,
Yeah, that.
Yeah, we might not even cover it as far as recording it, but there has to, there has to be a turn for everyone, and you know what, honestly, because what ends up happening, the Jagwire comes to life. It's not just the stuffed animal. The elder woman is actually the Jagwire. But what ends up happening is that, oh man, so I never expressed this. That's why I'm getting a little, too hyped. But so what I envision is that late at night, later on after the funeral, after things get, there's someone is, kind of getting attacked, and it's like a homeless person. They're kind of getting beat up. Maybe they didn't have enough money for the drug exchange. So this Jagwire comes out of nowhere and just kills the person who's attacking the homeless man. The Jagwire is the protector of the underworld, the protector of Tartarus, the Uriel. That's the Jagwire archetype. So what ends up happening is that Justin like comes face to face with the Jagwire, like, and he tries to share the Peaches the next day at work, like, yo, I saw this Jagwire eat this man alive. Peaches is like, what are you talking about? What you smoke? What you smoking? So like it might take Peaches, who kind of is like a dumb, deaf, blind, sheep, and weak, but we're not gonna stick to that. Every spirit has that opportunity to change. So yeah, it's gonna take her a little more convincing. But I say that to say it's a lot of occult that's happening with Justin, and so it's harder for him to express like, yo, I just saw a Jagwire eat a man, and Peaches is like, get to work. So they because now that you're saying that, like, I want to play with that. Yeah,
I gotta practice my old lady voice.
Oh, whippersnappers! Oh, you! We can get into it later. This is when people have time and whatnot. But this is just a suggestion. Try bringing your voice to the front of your. Try how the voice box is here. Try imagining like your voice box being like on your lips and then talking from there. That's kind of like a French thing, but like if you could just move your voice, it's very internal. So there's no real science to it, but it's like imagine moving your voice in different places, and you can be like, hey, you'd be surprised what you can do when you, hey, oh, and it's gonna take a lot of like. Yeah, it's yeah. That phenomenon is wild. Like even the intros of y'all being like, hey, I know it takes a certain like, just be weird with me for a few seconds. I know, but I'm just trying to, since I'm learning as I'm doing this too, I'm like, what is this phenomena of kind of just like being weird and silly on the camera and whatnot. But
I love it.
I'm so glad we with the weirdos. I'm so glad,
people.
y'all. Yeah, I'm so glad we with the weirdos. We with the people who just think a little different, and so I feel comfortable enough to be like, hey, y'all. But yeah, so okay, wait, recording. Now that we here, this is going to be the last like order of business. But I'm gonna send this in an email. Let me put that up. The recording process. Y'all have multiple lines, so whenever you're on your own recording into your phone, whatever recording device, as little to no background noise, if that's possible. I can try and edit out as much as I can, little to no background noise. And then y'all can send it to me through email, on the little voice recording app. You could send, the snippets or whatever other software you're using to record. And just you can send it as one long thing, or you can send it in snippets. For example, for Peaches, like you know, because you're going back and forth with Justin. If you want to hit me up anytime this week, hey, I want to record. Can you play? I got you. Or if you want to do it by yourself, you can have it go on. So this is the part of the process that is experimental for me, and I want to kind of see what works for everyone. So when it comes to recording, I think that those are the two things that I can imagine how it could work efficiently. And for you too, Futz too, like that's enough, like for narrator, and then even if you want to do it in one take, because I know even in episode 2 it goes from narrator to Jared, so that would take either you press and stop and then going into Jared's voice, or having a distinct difference between narrator and Jared's voice in one take.
Okay.
I feel like that,
get that snippet in right there.
Sure. And then send them to me, and then we'll get to cooking. Then next week we'll do episode 3, and then maybe episode 1 of the next play. So we're just gonna keep trucking. And this is gonna be the format: intro, discuss, record on your own, come back for the whole Scorpio season. And then at the same time, I'm on GarageBand right now, putting together the voices and whatnot. And then by Sagittarius season, we're gonna release them every week, maybe 2 episodes a week. And then we're gonna do the whole interview when y'all have time, like talkbacks and whatnot. So
I'm trying not to get too excited.
My bad. That's my torque.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, Diva, you better be. Hey, go ahead. That's just look. I'm a little kid. I'll be like little kid at the amusement park. Hold on. I want to cut this because I'm gonna just cut recording. We gotta leave. Like I say, come and go as you please. But all right.
Hey, deuces, y'all.
Stop.